Today we're going to be looking at the Ibanez FRM300. This is pretty much my workhorse. I have a FRM100 sitting just over there that I love, and that's like vintage now, so that will be staying exactly as is. I love everything about this guitar, but today we're going to be putting a FRX on the FRM trem system here, just so I can see what it's like, because I miss having a bit of a trem there. It's more actually because of the bridge here. I tend to get strings snagged, and especially the high E, I just burn through them. For some reason, the way I play puts a lot of pressure on these bridges, and no matter how much I file them to get them smooth, it tends to break this string or get it so that it becomes loose there and goes out of tune. I never had that problem with a Floyd Rose style bridge when it's flat. So we'll see how that goes. I'll try and film it. So another thing that I'm going to be trying to do here is I want to still be able to use the tuners to down tune and do all the bits and pieces I need to do in my live set without the need of putting a D-tuner on and then having everything clamped. So in order to do that, I'm going to be basically turning it into a vintage style trem where it only goes down. So let's see what's in the box here. I got this second hand because they are quite expensive. Fun fact, I had one of the prototypes of these back when they were just before they were first released, and I did a demo video on my old band channel that actually got featured by Floyd Rose. I think you can find it somewhere. I'll be the guy in the beanie hat going crazy on a Silverburst Les Paul with one of these. So yeah, so I'm fully aware of how these work and sort of what they can do and the drawbacks too. So let's see, I actually never got a box like this because mine was a prototype. It was just in a cardboard box. Yeah, fun times. So it's all packaged rather nicely. And yeah, there it is. And I went for a standard chrome one because the hardware I've got on the FRM is mostly chrome, so I went with that. Hoping I won't need to put this piece on. If I do, then it will be a case that I will need a D-tuner, but I'm hoping I don't need to. I like these saddles. I like the fact that strings don't get caught up in them, and when I play I rest my hand on there quite a bit, and that seems to suit my hand better. It's a bar, it's a nice bar. In here we have bits and pieces. Now these pieces here, these are little sticky pads. These didn't come with the prototype, and every guitar I put my prototype on left indentations in the wood. So that's what these are for now. So that's cool. These are your screws that go into the tailpiece of your guitar, to imperial, to a metric. So I've put this on two other guitars back in the day. I've never put it on an Ibanez Fireman before, and I can't see on the internet if anyone else has. All I've ever seen is an Iceman, and it seemed to fit the Iceman, so fingers crossed. Let's do this. FRX on the FRM. So first things first, we're going to have to take the strings off. So while you've got the strings off, it's always a good opportunity to give your guitar a good clean. I'm going to get the trusty lemon oil out. It's just to get rid of the grime, really. Give it a good. It's a shame that Floyd did this. He could have easily put a hole where, I mean, it might not be the same for this, but on a Les Paul or a Gibson, they usually just have the one hole at the top, and that could have been there. Sounds like Chewbacca. Taking the bridge off. Okay, so now we're going to take the tailpiece off. So now basically we're just going to take the screws out of here. If you're looking at these speed knobs I put on, and another funny story number 2, the Ibanez 100, which is over there, which I'll probably do another video on, had these speed knobs on, and you may recognize them if any of you watch Dave Simpson. His review of the FRM100, a guy called Mike let Dave film his FRM100. That's on that video. That is now mine. So that very guitar is just over there. But I put that back to its original knobs and things, but I really liked these, so I thought they suited this guitar better. So that's where these are from. And let's see which of these fits, either imperial or metric. I think these are the smaller ones. These just screw straight into the posts that you, the posts screw into the, what do you call them, holes that you already have. But what I need to know is the pick guard. I don't want it hitting the edge of this, and this is much wider than the previous one. The bottom edge of the FRX literally just fits. It's like the edge of the bumper is just on the edge of the pick guard there. But if you look where the pick guard is, it's right on that edge. Hello, Blaze. Yes, we're installing things on guitars, darling. And you can't help, I'm afraid. So I've got to install these stoppers. You see these stoppers, Blaze? Don't eat them. These little stoppers, pads, right where these edges touch. So these end screws screw into the post screws. So now what I need to do is put the low E and the high E on, and then get everything in the right position. So I'll be back after this. Well, that was a thing. What actually happened was this piece came right off. The spring actually just slipped off it completely, and it just flew this way. So I had a bit of a battle trying to get that back on. I had to loosen the spring right off, put the knife edges back in, and then sort of plonk it back in. That happened twice. I've taken the stabilizer out, which is a little black screw there, because the instructions tell you to take that out while you're installing things. But I would use that if I was going to float it, but I'm not floating this one. This is going to be down only. I've just strung the ball end of my strings straight through, almost like they're locking tuners, so there's barely any wind. There's a adjustment screw, thumb screw. I've brought that all the way up so that the trem is stable. To adjust the action, you've got two screws. You've got the ones at the front and the actual posts at the back. If you lower the posts, it actually lowers the entire unit down, and you have a spring that runs underneath that if you start using your whammy bar, it's going to scuff your finish. And what you'll find is the screws that attach, I think they're called the master intonation screws or something, because you can move it forward and back. They're initially in, so it locks the entire unit in to begin with. They make it so that these screws are useless, so you have to unscrew these slightly in order to make it pivot. So I managed to get the intonation all working. I've got the action as I like. It looks pretty good. But yeah, let's see. So you can see it's slightly gone out there. I don't think it'd survive if I did it. Oh yeah. Yep, they're okay, but I think it's a little bit of a hit and miss. Now here's the thing. That's my sleeve got caught in between the thumb wheel that keeps the bridge from floating. So that might be a thing. Now it's gone out. It's gone really sharp. So in conclusion, I've got two ways to go with this. Maybe think about getting installing the locking nut properly and getting a detuner. Or I can take this off, put the Tune-o-matic back on. Don't know. What do you guys think? Let me know. As it is at the minute, I wouldn't like to rely on this at a gig. Unless I took the bar off. You can hear it going. So in conclusion, failed experiment. I'm pretty sure that I am going to be removing this as soon as possible. Unfortunately, it doesn't do what I wanted it to do. It doesn't feel right anymore. For some reason, I feel cut off from the rest of my guitar. It's a premium product, and it has worked for me in the past with Gibson guitars. But the tuning stability is all over the place. I don't think that just having a thumb screw as your ability to stabilize your trem works. I think it's too easy to catch. The action only just goes to where I need it to go before it starts gouging into the body. Yeah, I mean, it looks cool, but and I love how you can adjust the arm, so it's exactly the sort of the looseness and tension that you want. But I don't want to turn this into a locking nut guitar. The only other thing I could do is just have this as a bridge, but even then, with the thumb screw catching and these high adjustment screws at the front sticking way up, I may as well just have my old bridge back. But yeah, I can't do much with this bridge, unfortunately. Right.